Okay. So last time we spoke out some of that the authentications policy, I think. Okay, we talk about that authenticators, what all
We talk
the
about securities, I think, last
yes,
class.
under the security,
Security.
I think we
Yeah.
talk about that authenticators and the enrollment.
Generals.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
The journals after that part, I have talked about that health insight also. What all that the health insight it is to be there in terms of your like what all the task which is to be there either critical, higher, moderate side. Okay.
Mhm.
So we need to take care about all that security level of kind of things. It's kind of the health insight, which is like organizational level of health insight it is. Okay. Like how your configurations are well equipped or your configurations are well suited or whatever the things you did it on your tenant area, either they are working fine or not, or either they are making any security impact on critical side, higher side, moderate level. So we are talking
Mhm.
about that area majorly. Okay.
Today.
So in the health
Today.
inside, no, no, today, like we talk about that thing already, I think.
I don't think about the health insight, right? I think we last class we just focused on the generals only.
Okay, fine, fine. So today we can talk about that thing.
Mm.
So health inside in the security, health inside is generally tell us about that part, how
Mhm.
your health of your tenant it is to be there. This is my tenant basically. Okay.
Okay.
And inside that tenant, whatever the things I did so far, so these are comes under my task. Okay. If
Mm.
it is impacting any security impact, it is to be there. So these kind of activities I can check inside my health insight. Like it's a similar kind of the health insight as your like you are having your blood report or your health report you are getting. Okay.
Mhm.
After your health checkup, so you get to know what exactly where exactly the deficiency it is. Okay. How we can go ahead and check either they are a critical side, either they are impacting anything higher level of things. Okay. So similarly on that the tenant level, we need to get to know like either my password policy is meeting correct or not, either my network zones are properly managed or not, either my
Oh,
password change notification is working fine or not.
okay.
Okay.
Are we
So
getting
the
any alerts here if the impact is there? Security impact
yeah,
like let's say.
alert related to that part. These are the alerts basically. Critical, higher, moderate. These are the
Oh, will it
level of the
generate
alert.
automatically?
Yes, yes, they will generate automatically. Yes.
Oh, okay.
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 So on
Mhm.
that basis, we get to know where exactly and how exactly we need to fix. Okay.
Mhm.
So if it is saying over there, threat inside is not enabled to block suspicious IPs. Okay, it
Mhm.
is not enabled, it is saying. So it's also saying that part where exactly you need to go, what kind of action you need to take. Okay. So in the action part, you need to take ahead like go to settings or either go to that the directly page inside where exactly these are impacting. Okay. So over here, we need to do certain kind of activities like to making this enable, disable accordingly. On that basis, we need to take care about that to take care about our configurations area basically. Okay. So that saying it is over there, any suspicious IP, it is to be there. Any kind of notification has to be raised on that area. So which area you need to go ahead, like in that area. I'll go
Okay.
inside that thing, health insight, and is asking me threat insight is not enabled to block suspicious IP. So I need to make it enable inside my
Oh,
threat insight. Okay.
mhm.
So I need to check Okta threat insight setting it is to be there. What action I need to take and care over here. So that action in that level I need to take ahead. Log authentication attempt from malicious IP, log and enforce security based on the threat level. So these kind of settings I need to do it. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
through that way, I need to make sure these kind of things are be not comes to my in the criticality level or higher side of the level. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's showing there is a suspicious IP. So I need to figure it out what exactly the suspicious IP it is to be there. So on that basis, I need to put over here any exception zones or any kind of things inside my threat inside settings area. So
Mhm.
these kind of things we need to take care about that part in zone something. If it is to be there, it will come or either not. No. In zone kind of things, it is not be there. Okay. So majorly that kind of things we can check under my threat insight. So in the threat insight side, whatever the things you did it, that counts under this completed area. And those
Mm-hmm.
kind of activity you didn't do that part, that is comes under incomplete area. Okay. So you need to go there directly on that area and do that kind of activity. Okay. So sometimes the thing it is that whatever the things we are performing, whatever the things we are doing, that is
Mm-hmm.
somehow good enough for my organization. But again, in the threat inside, it is showing certain kind of things related to that part. It is not matching that the correct situation, that is not matching that the correct kind of activities. So we need to take care about this graph. So if your graph is 70, 80, 85%, it is to be there, that is good enough. Okay, at least
How,
80% is a good enough. Okay,
how to check
so
this one? Like, is there any
there
thing?
is a task, na, like task. There are
Okay.
19 tasks. You have completed 11 tasks. Once you completed 19 tasks completely, then it is 100%. Okay. So what
Okay.
are all the open tasks? These are the open tasks right now. Need to
Mm-hmm.
check. These are the security impact area. We need to
Mm-hmm.
reconfigure or reset certain kind of things. Okay. Let me do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm
Okay.
enabling these area like a notification email I will get, password change notification I will get,
Mm-hmm.
authenticator enrollment notification I will get, authenticator reset notification I will get. So these are the things according to the security measure I need to enable that part. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I go there, it will become 79 now.
Mm,
Okay.
got it.
So
Yeah.
that is the things you need to take care from these area in the action part. Okay.
Okay.
Now we are at the
The first
authentic.
one is like critical, right? It means like, will it get more points when we do
Yeah.
that one?
No, 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 it's not exactly like the more points, but the thing it is that it's showing it's a criticality part means you need
Mm-hmm.
to take an action immediately. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it's somehow it is impacting in more areas might be. Okay. So that's the thing.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's saying like in way like you need to enable where exactly that the block suspicious IP means where
Mm-hmm.
from exactly we are suspicious IP we are getting. So you need to block.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
the it
Mm-hmm.
is saying basically.
Okay. Okay.
Now we are having the authenticators. So authenticators generally means like like second layer of authentication of that user. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
authenticators are nothing but these are the software, these are the hardware through which you can authenticate your
Mm-hmm.
users, through which
Mm-hmm.
identities get authenticated by them. Okay. Or they
Mm-hmm.
are be like they are making or verifying that the user for the second layer of authentication. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So right now what happened? Okta provide us, there are different kind of authenticators through us. Okay. Like email, Okta verify, password. These are the authenticators which I am doing having. Okay, by default. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Email, Okta verify and the password. But some of the authenticator you need to implement. Implement means according to that organization, according to the client, according to the application requirement, some kind of requirement, some kind of authenticators we require. Like Okta require Okta verify to authenticate user. Okay,
Okay.
that
Okay.
that is the thing. Similarly, some of the application majorly required not Okta verify, they are requiring Microsoft authenticator. Okay, they
Like,
are looking for
yeah.
Google authenticator. So on
Some
that basis,
organizations
yeah,
will need MFA.
yeah. So that is the MFA.
Mm-hmm.
These are the MFAs basically. Okay, these
Mm-hmm.
are the MFAs basically. So the authenticators means what exactly your organizations are having a multi-factor authenticator. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
on that basis, Okta gives you certain kind of authenticators. So you need to add those authenticator under your tenant. This is my tenant. What authenticators my tenant is having. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to add it from their bucket. Whatever the Okta authenticators, authentication side, the Okta is providing the authenticators. Okay. So I am going to add those authenticators. Okay.
Okay.
So I added some of the authenticators like Google Authenticator, security questions. Okay, apart from this, Okta Verify password and email. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the authenticators require certain kind of configurations. Okay. Like UB key. UB key is generally required that part. You need to require some kind of files. Okay. Which is to be
Okay.
given in a encrypted form. Now, then it is going to be decrypt on the other side, and we will get the private or keys on that side. Yeah. Okay. So again, some of the authenticators require hardware like your security, like your custom authenticator, like your on-prem MFA. Okay. Some require application support, FIDO keys. Okay. RSS secure ID. So these are the authenticators basically. Okay. Smart card authenticator. Some kind of authenticator required hardware, some kind of authenticator required any encrypted file format. Okay. Some required certain kind of things like your mobile phone and other kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these are all the authenticators. These authenticators get to know that our organization, like my tenant, what
Mm-hmm.
authenticators my tenant is holding. Okay. So these are the
Okay.
authenticators these my organization is holding right now. Correct.
Yeah.
So
For
in the
example,
in the
if some
Mhm.
some organization need a different type of authenticator which we don't have in the this bucket, at the time what
Yep.
we have to do?
So on that time we need to do some custom authenticator.
Okay.
Okay. We need to go there and put that the custom authenticator name, what
Mm-hmm.
exactly the custom authenticator file it is to be there, what exactly the application it is holding. We need to give it
Mm-hmm.
that area, and we need
Mm-hmm.
to do some configuration part either by putting these kind of additional information. Okay.
Oh,
That
okay.
authenticator give it to us. On that side,
Oh.
we need to add those authenticator, the custom one. Okay. Which is not over here like this. Okay. Any custom authenticator, any custom OTP you require. So then in
Mm-hmm.
that case, you need to go ahead and do certain kind of activities. Okay.
Oh,
Like
configuration
choosing,
to that particular application only, right?
yeah, applications or
Mm-hmm.
particularly hardware it is or something additional kind of things. Okay. The
Okay.
custom one.
Okay.
Customers means which is not in the out of box area. You need to
Mm.
implement from outside. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Implement it from your organizational, some of the other area. Other area means other hardware or something. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, if we are having the authenticators, like these authenticators we are having,
Mm.
how we are supposed to get enroll this authenticator? What idea behind these authenticators? Where exactly we need to implement all those authenticators? So we have their enrollment for the authenticators. Okay. So the enrollment of the authenticator generally tells that where exactly you require to put these authenticators. Like you are having Okta Verify. Okay. So where exactly, how exactly you need to configure this Okta Verify? So that area comes to my enrollment area of my authenticators. Okay. So Okta gives you default policies for that purpose to do this kind of activity. Like Okta gives you the default policy over here. Inside that default policy, what the things it is to be there, like it will applicable on everyone group. It is applicable on everyone group. Everyone group is in Okta, like for every users. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Every users are the part of everyone group. So that policy is implemented on everyone group. And once it is implemented on everyone group, so what kind of authenticators comes in my required section area? What kind of authenticator goes my optional area? And which authenticator I need to put in my disable area? Okay. So that
Mm-hmm.
is kind of things I need to make it sure on which group I am going to implement and how the user is authenticating under that group, which authenticator should be on his area, on his bucket. Like if I
Okay.
say I am the part of everyone group, correct? Everyone is a part of everyone group. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I need to do, I must require this password authenticator. Okay, that is a required
Okay.
authenticator. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I should also having Google Authenticator, Okta Verify, or security question also. Okay, in
Mm-hmm.
my optional area. Okay. So every policy means the enrollment. If you are enrolling something, so it means you are supposed to be providing or creating some policy. So inside the policy, whether you are creating this policy, so there must be some rules. Okay. How
Mhm.
these authenticators are going to be applicable, under which condition. Okay. So that comes under rules area. So it is comes under my default rule. Like if user IP is anywhere, if user is logging from anywhere in the world, any IP
Mhm.
addresses, so the
Mhm.
enrollment says that allowed for all authenticator. So he should be allowing all of the authenticator from which he is supposed to be entering himself inside that any kind of application. Okay.
Oh, in that situation, the password will be same for everyone, right?
No, 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 no. Password should not be the same. The user password, whatever he is trying to authenticate. The question is
Oh,
over
got
here.
it. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
question is over here if it is like I
Mm-hmm.
am having you like you are having Okta Verify. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it.
So either this Okta Verify, how I could understand this Okta Verify applicable to you. Okay.
Yeah.
So for that purpose, I need to create a policy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once I am creating the policy, so policy comes under with rule always. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rule generally means that rule gives that the condition to that policy. What
Okay.
exactly will happen? This
Mm-hmm.
policy will trigger. Okay. Or either what kind of situation it is to be there. So this policy will applicable. Like
Oh,
you are using Okta Verify. So it means that you are somewhere inside or belongs to a specific kind of group, either the IT
good.
group, either the admin group, either the HR group, or either the security group. Okay. So your profile is applicable for that group level. Okay. So these
Mm-hmm.
policy we are implementing. So we are supposed to implement a policy only for my IT group people. Okay. So I am
Okay.
aligning whatever the user belongs to that IT group. If he is the IT group person, so he is supposed to be having these kind of authenticator in himself or enrolled himself in certain kind of authenticator like password, Google Authenticator, Okta Verify, security question. So these kind of authenticator should be he is be enrolled himself. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
after enrolling that part, how he is supposed to log in inside that application or use this area. So there must be some rules which is to be defined. Okay. Like over here, I created one test policy. I created one my test policy. Test policies is defined for my admin or IT group. I define this
Mm-hmm.
test policy for admin or IT group. Okay. And over here, I implemented the required authenticator. I required this is password. The user
Mm-hmm.
is entering his password plus the optional area it is to be there. It is having like Google Authenticator, Okta Verifier, or either security question. So he is supposed to be the part of these kind of authenticator also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
he is enroll any kind of authenticator, if he is having any kind of authenticator, so it means that whether he is entering password or entering a second layer of authentication as a different authenticator, he
Mm-hmm.
is entering via Okta Verify, either via Google Authenticator or either via security question. So he will be authenticate. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Mm-hmm.
Or either he is trying to do this kind of activity from anywhere. Anywhere basically means like any of the IP addresses, any
Mm-hmm.
applications he is supposed to touch from the Okta end, or
Mm-hmm.
allowed all authenticator from whatever the authenticator is trying to achieve these things. So that area we need to configure our enrollment policy for my authenticators. If
Okay.
any of the authenticator is not be there, so you can't add that authenticator inside the enrollment area. Like if you see over here, have you seen any kind of RSA token over here? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Because that authenticator is not in my Okta tenant area added so
Okay.
far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can see only those enrollment inside the policy, those
Mm-hmm.
authenticator you are enrolled already. Okay. If you are
Yeah.
creating a policy over here, so you see all of the authenticator what you are having. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, I am creating one test policy. for my admin group. Let's say what all the group HR group. Okay. In HR group,
Mm-hmm.
I am having 4 users. Okay. So I'm creating a
Okay.
test policy for my HR users or which
Mm.
belongs to HR group. So I'm saying that they are supposed to be Google Authenticator should be comes under required site.
Required.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And Okta Verify is the optional one. Password is the required one. Security question is disable, not required. You can
Mm-hmm.
make it disable, which is not required. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
create the policy. So policy is created right now. Now every
Okay.
policy come with the rule. So let's
Rule.
create the rule. Policy, test policy rule. Test policy to rule. Got
Yeah.
it? If you want to exclude some of the user under the HR group, so you can
Okay.
put their name. Like my HR group having 4 users,
Mm-hmm.
but I want that Revati be the part of this HR group, but don't want this policy is been applicable on her profile. Okay, so I just name over here Revati name. I am excluding Revati from that complete policy. Okay, this policy
Mm-hmm.
is not going to be applicable to Revati. Either she is belongs to HR group also. Okay,
Okay.
it
Okay.
doesn't matter. So I just put that username. If IP is if user is login anywhere, so you can put anywhere. If it is belonging to in zone, so you can mention what all the in zones kind of
Mm-hmm.
countries or location it is to be there, or either
Okay.
out of the zone, you just put the zone name, what all the out of the zone area. And user is accessing, either user is accessing only Okta or either he is using application.
Application.
So you can put that thing. Okay, which application? Name a specific application, put this name like Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I am creating that kind of condition over here. Then enrollment is allow all the authenticator I am
That.
putting. Okay, so what exactly that mean it is? I created one policy. Okay, my test policy 2, which is applicable on which is applicable on HR group. Okay, HR
Yeah.
group basically means what all the users in belongs to HR group. So what how they are authenticate themselves, either Google Authenticator or password, or optional is
It's
Okta Verify.
Octa
Correct?
verify. Yeah.
Okay. And I put disable 2 of the authenticator. These authenticator
Yeah.
I don't
Email.
required, so I put it disable. Then what happened? I create one rule for that policy. What rule I
Mm-hmm.
created? That user login from any IP address plus he is accessing Okta or
Okay.
Zoom application. Okta
Okay.
or Zoom application. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then he is supposed to allow, then he is supposed to allow to authenticate himself either via Google Authenticator, password, or Okta Verify. Okay. So that
If
kind
you
of
want
policy.
to enable
Mhm.
some of the optionals like email or security questions, can we able to do from here? Okay.
Yes.
Edit. Okay.
From edit, you can enable that part and make
Okay.
it required
Got
or optional.
it. Okay.
Update policy. So policy is
Mm-hmm.
updated and active now. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
these kind
Okay.
of
Got
things we can do or perform. Okay.
it. Mm-hmm.
And every policy comes with the priority was priority one, priority two, priority three. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
according to that condition, it will work. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that is comes under my authenticator side basically. What all the
Mm-hmm.
authenticators I am having and how I am going to use those authenticators. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we call it is a authentication policies over here. Not authenticators, the enrollment policy or uh, authenticator policy we are saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are having authentication policies. Authentication policy generally means that how you are authenticating your user inside that application.
Okay.
Okay, how you are authenticating users inside that applications or application teams want a specifically kind of authentication from his end to authenticate the user. Okay, so in that purpose, what we need to do, we can go to that authentication policy and check. Okta authentication policies are be there. Okay.
Mhm.
So we need to create, or we get to know what all that the authentication policies are be there. Okay. So there are a couple of default policies are be there. Okay. Two-factor policy, Okta browser plugin, Okta dashboard policy, test authentication policy. We created this one, test authentication policy. So there are
Mhm.
a couple of default policy which is going to be applicable for you. Okay. The administrator, whoever the administrator it is to be there, he is supposed to see all those policies till Okta dashboard policies. Okay, which are default, which are given by him. Oh, sorry, which is given by Okta to him. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So once you wanted to know what exactly and how exactly these policies are going to work, so you need to create that policy. Okay. Let's say create one policy, auth. Okay. Let's say test auth policy. Okay. We are creating this policy.
Mhm.
So whenever the policy it is to be there, the rule is always be there. Correct. So there is
Mhm.
a default rule. There is a catch-all rule, which is always be created. Whenever you are going to create any kind of policy, whenever you are creating any kind of policy, this catch-all
Mhm.
rule will be there. So catch-all rule
Okay.
is like the things, whenever any kind of policy is not going to work, this will work. This rule will work. Okay. Rule
Basically, it's a
generally,
basic rule.
yeah. That is a basic rule, or you can say the default rule. It will work.
Okay, default. Mhm.
Whatever the rules, whatever the rules you are creating inside that policy, it is not going to work. It will work.
Okay.
Okay. So every policy, whenever we are creating a policy, so we need to create some rules. That is the first condition. Okay. So whenever we are creating the rules, so over here we need to set which kind of rule we are going to create for that policy. Okay. So we need to create one test rule or auth test auth test auth policy rule. Okay. So what has been over here? We are creating one rule. It's saying that if user type is any user type, whatever the user type it is, contract work, full-time employee, vendor, whatever the user it is. Okay. And the user membership include if he is belongs to any kind of group or you are wanted the specific kind of group name. So you just mention. Okay.
Mhm.
It's all up to
Mhm.
you. Okay. So let's say any kind of group he belongs to, any kind of user it is to be there. And the user type is the user. Okay. And
Mhm.
the device
Mhm.
status from which device he is supposed to log in. Any device or any specific registered device. So you need to mention if it is a registered device, either that device is managed or not managed, you need to mention. Let's say I am
Okay.
putting that any of the device he is logging. Okay. And the
Mhm.
device assurance policy is no policy is going to be required for device assurance size. And the platform of the device is any kind of platform, iOS, Android, whatever. Or you need to
Mhm.
select which kind of that OS you required. Android, Chrome, iOS, Mac, Windows, desktop. Okay. So let's
Mhm.
say I am looking for a user authenticating from any kind of platform. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
any kind of IP he belongs to. Okay. And the
Mhm.
risk is any risk. Any risk means either the risk is low, medium, high, you need to mention. Okay.
Okay.
So what I am creating over here, I am creating if condition.
Mhm.
If user is having these kind of things, then what will happen? Then his access is denied or allowed. I need to mention first thing.
Mhm.
And how
Mhm.
is authenticate himself? Either two-factor authenticator, either any
Okay.
one-factor authenticator, either possession factor, okay, or either password plus eh, any other kind of factor, okay, any other two kind of factor. So I need to mention that part. Okay.
Okay.
Any kind of any kind of factor basically it is showing over here. Either password will work for this authentication purpose, either password plus second enrollment will work. Okay.
Mhm.
And position factor constraint are phishing resistance, hardware protected, or required user interaction. If it is required user interaction, so what kind of interaction the user interaction is required? So it required biometric user verification, any kind of interaction, or either required device passcode interaction. Okay. So on
Mhm.
that purpose, what I am trying to say, if user is having any kind of, he's making an authentication for himself inside in that application, so through which way he is supposed to log in himself, through which way he need to interact with that kind of application. Okay. So I need to go through that part, like either Okta Verify or either any biometric, any kind of things it is to be there required. So I need to mention that thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Then authentication method. What kind of method he is supposed to do? Password and additional factor. I choose over there. What I choose over here? Password plus another factor. So what
Perfect.
comes under password plus another factor? Password is fine. You are entering, user is entering his password, but he need to
Mm.
additional factor. Okta verify, either fast pass it is to be there. Okay. If it is not
Mm.
having additional factor, so he is not supposed to be login inside that application. Because I
Mhm.
mentioned that user is having password plus another factor. It is to be compulsory. Okay.
Okay.
And the option stays in is required. No, it's not required. Then one the prompt for authentication. If it is prompt for authentication, prompt for password authentication, when it's been over a specific length of time since the user accessed any resource protected on the activity Okta Global Error, the time says last in. So it's saying that part, like it will prompt for user if it is login inside that application. So till last time he is supposed to work on that application, how long its authentication work for this user. So I mentioned 1 hour. Till 1 hour, his authentication will work. After 1 hour, again the application requires authentication. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
And the other part, it is to be the prompt for all factor for authentication. When it's been a specific length, it is to be there. Once the 1 hour is left, then again it is looking for his authenticator to authenticate himself. Okay.
Mhm.
So that kind of settings I need to save it over here. So I am doing from that the administrator side. So it's
Mhm.
asking me the code to implement that authentication policy. 425014. Got it. This policy, this rule is now working.
Mhm.
So inside any kind of authentication policy, you can add n number of rules.
Rules.
This
Okay.
is my rule 1. You can add rule 2. Similar way,
Mhm.
rule 3, rule 4. But again, every rule comes with the priority. So this rule having the priority 1. Then again, you are
Mhm.
creating that rule having the priority 2. Then
Mhm.
again, priority 3. If rule 1
Mhm.
is not going to work, rule 2 will work. If rule 2 is not work, rule 3 will work. If 3
Mhm.
rule is not work, it will not going to work. Then we are having a default rule, catch all rule.
That's all rule.
It will
Yeah.
work. Okay. Just it
Mhm.
need to be enabled.
Enable.
Then it will
Okay.
work. Either if
Mhm.
you are disable that part, it is not going to work. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's all up to you how you are going to add this authentication policies. Once you create this authentication policy, for which
Mhm.
application you created this authentication policy, you need to add that application. Like I did or do this kind of authentication policy for this application. Click data, SAML application. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
added one application. Okay,
Okay.
similarly, you can add other applications also. Okay, so whenever user is authenticating himself inside Zoom application or Click Data SAML application, so
Mm-hmm.
he need to follow these rules first. Okay, he
Yeah.
need to follow these rules first. If the rule is working fine, then he is supposed to log in inside that application, because these policy, these rules are going to be applicable for these applications only. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that is the area you need to create n number of policies for n number
Mm-hmm.
of applications, or either you can create n number of policies for a specific
Mm-hmm.
application.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
is one to one or one to n or n to one kind of rule it is to be applicable over here. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so in the test authentication policy, we can see that part till when he is supposed to be login, till the time his authentication will work, and
Mm-hmm.
how the authenticator rules are going to work. Okay,
Okay.
password plus additional factor it is going to be required or not, or which group level it is going to be applicable this policy. So we are having one more broader policy, we call it is a global session policy. Okay, so that
Okay.
global session policy we will talk tomorrow about that part, because it's a complete
Okay.
big policy. It's include
Mm-hmm.
your authentication policy and
Okay.
your authenticator policy
Okay.
also.
Okay.
Both the policy comes under that way, and even it is having one additional factor it is to be there to
Okay.
use that thing. Then we
Mm-hmm.
can jump over our networks
Mm-hmm.
and our device and all. So might be tomorrow we can cover all these things. Okay, till API.
Sure.